My name's Athena Oden. I'm a pediatric physical therapist with over 30 years' experience, primarily in the public school system. And through the years, I've noted a troubling trend in our students, whether in regular or special education. Maybe you see it too. Have you noticed that more and more children appear immature and uncoordinated? Many students bounce around the classroom and chew on their shirts. They have difficulty with reading and handwriting and just seem unable to behave. More and more I've noticed children in classrooms who do not have the developmental skills needed to learn, and instead their immature motor or movement skills hinder their learning. I've also noticed a pattern to these struggles. As a physical therapist and a mother dealing with some of these issues, I began to realize that our society is creating the perfect storm. Our children today have limited childhood experiences compared to previous generations. We strap our infants in carriers. Fear of safety prevents the freedom of unrestricted play. Technological recreation is creating little couch potatoes. And the academic demand placed on these children is immense. How can our children learn to perform difficult academic tasks with bodies that have had little time to develop critical motor skills? Our goal for the Ready Bodies Learning Minds program has always been to help children develop the skills necessary for learning readiness. But learning is not something we see happening. Rather, learning is information our brain gathers through what our body experiences every minute of the day. Performance is what we see happening. It is the motor skill or movement that we as adults observe. Children cannot communicate what they know without using a motor skill. Handwriting, gesturing, speaking, keyboarding, and even eye gaze on a communication board are all motor skills. Movement can never be separated from what we learn. It is the method we use to express what we have learned. For example, the performance of sitting still requires learned equilibrium control. The performance of handwriting requires learned gross motor control. The performance of reading requires learned eye muscle control. And academic skills are not the only responses based in motor performance. We have found that a secondary but equally important result of our motor lab has been its effect on a child's classroom behavior. And as a child develops motor and sensory skills to accomplish tasks in the classroom, he concurrently develops the ability to control his behavior. Our children are created as a total child, and when academic performance improves, so does behavioral performance. They are both built on the same motor and sensory foundation. Our program is also research and evidence-based. A doctoral dissertation reported that 20 minutes every other day in the Ready Bodies Motor Lab led to a 70% increase in reading proficiency in elementary children, compared to a control group not participating in our motor lab. Were we practicing reading in the motor lab? No. We were building ready bodies, which are the foundation for learning minds. So, how can Ready Bodies Learning Minds help you and your school? It is well documented that physical activity is paramount to academic success. Yet physical activity depends on the proficiency or mastery of motor skills, which our motor lab teaches. Our motor lab uses specific, easy-to-implement activities and simple equipment, blending motor control, sensory integration, and kinesthetic awareness. It can be implemented as a campus-wide program with our written curriculum or as a classroom strategy for all ages, from the youngest typically developing child to older or non-typical children. It has been used as an RTI program. It meets CDC and WIC guidelines for physical activity, and many have reported it improves reading and behavior. Ready Bodies Learning Minds is a comprehensive approach to understanding how sensory integration and motor control drives learning and therefore performance of our children. In our seminars and books, we clarify these powerful relationships and then deliver powerful, hands-on tools to bring children to developmental maturity and academic success. Considering the importance of test scores and behavioral control in the classroom today, the Ready Bodies program will bring your students' educational performance to its peak. As educators, how can we afford not to build learning minds?